Hey guys, welcome to our lesson for the day. Now, by now, you should have already watched the other video that I used to help us unpack our LEQ and also talked about our anchor chart for the day. So this is our point of view anchor chart. So just a quick review, how the character thinks or feels about a topic or a subject is their point of view. And we can figure out the point of view by the things that they say, the things that they do, and sometimes they even tell us their point of view as we're reading or have their feelings as we're reading the story. Also, the illustrations are really important when we're reading because sometimes we can get an idea of how the character feels by like the expressions that they have on their face. So we would have to infer how they felt about a topic. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dig into chapter 1 of Chocolate Fever. Now, this is written by Robert Kimmel Smith. Now, I also have this text for you guys as a PDF document. So if you wanted to just follow along, or if you want to read it on your own, you're more than welcome to do that. Or you can listen to me. It's up to you. I don't care. Whatever you feel comfortable with. So we're going to go ahead and dig into only chapter 1 right now, and it's titled Meet Henry Green. There are some people who say that Henry Green wasn't really born, but he was hatched, fully grown from a chocolate bean. Can you believe that? Anyway, this particular Henry Green we are speaking of was really born, not hatched, and had a wonderful mom and dad in the bargain. His father was tall and lean and wore eyeglasses, except when he was sleeping or in the shower. Mama Green, whose name was Enid, was a short, slim woman with blue-gray eyes and a tiny mouth that always seemed to be on the verge of a smile. They all lived in an apartment in the middle of the city, along with Henry's older brother and sister. Mark Green was 10 and tall and very good to Henry, except when they would argue, which was often. And then he would hit Henry on the head with anything that was handy, which sometimes was hard. But mostly Mark was fun to be with and only got angry when Henry called him Marco Polo. Mark didn't like that. And who could blame him? Henry's sister was very, very old, almost 14. She didn't ever argue with Henry or Mark. In fact, she hardly talked to them at all because she was so old and wise and almost grown up. Her name was Elizabeth. The other morning, which was a school day at the end of the week called Friday, Henry, Mark, and Elizabeth were at the table in the dining room having breakfast. Mark was eating fried eggs. Elizabeth was quietly chewing on her usual breakfast of buttery toast and milk, and Henry was midway through his usual breakfast, too. Chocolate cake, a bowl of Cocoa Krispie cereal, and milk, with chocolate syrup in the milk to make it more chocolatey, washed down with a big glass of chocolate milk and 5 or 6 chocolate cookies. Sometimes, when it was left over from the night before, Henry would have chocolate pudding too. And on Sunday mornings, he usually had chocolate ice cream. The truth was that Henry was in love with chocolate, and chocolate seemed to love him. It didn't make him fat, and he was a little on the thin side too. It didn't hurt his teeth, which he never had cavities in his life. It didn't stunt his growth. He was just about the average height, perhaps even a little tall for his age. It didn't harm his skin, which had always been clear and fair. But most of all, it never gave him a bellyache. And so his parents, perhaps being not as wise as they were kind, let Henry have as much chocolate as he liked. Can you imagine a boy having a chocolate bar sandwich as an after-school snack? Well, Henry did just about every day. And when he ate mashed potatoes, just a few drops of chocolate syrup swished through them seemed to make them taste a lot better. Chocolate sprinkles, sprinkled on top of plain buttered noodles, were tasty too. Not to mention a light dusting of cocoa on things like canned peaches, pears, and applesauce. In the Greens' kitchen pantry, there was always a giant supply of chocolate cookies, chocolate cakes, chocolate pies, and chocolate candies of every kind. There was ice cream too. Chocolate, of course, and chocolate nut, chocolate fudge, chocolate marshmallow, chocolate swirl, and especially chocolate almond crunch. And all of that was just for Henry. If there was one thing you could say about Henry is that he surely did love chocolate. Probably more than any boy in the history of the world, his mother said. How does Henry like his chocolate? Daddy Green would sometimes joke. Why, he likes it bitter, sweet, light, dark, and daily. And it was true. Up until the day we're talking about right now. And that's the end of chapter 1. Stay tuned for chapter 2. Go ahead and make sure you go to your Schoology and answer our following question, which is, what is Henry's point of view of chocolate so far in our story? Okay, enjoy. Bye.